Okay, welcome back. Hello, hello, hello. I am Agent Ultra, and on this stream we do Haskell hacking. And we mess around with stuff and we build things. We just finished off a project last week to build an asteroids clone in Haskell, and that went pretty well. I'm fairly convinced that Haskell's a pretty decent language for building games in. I'm sure with a little bit of work and elbow grease, you could probably build a nice little, all kinds of little games in it. Um, so yeah. Today though, we need a new project. I put a poll up on the Fediverse asking what we should work on next. If we should go back to some prior projects we work on, like the Adventure Engine, we should spend some time messing around. And the sample size wasn't very large, but the results are in, and we're going to mess around with GHC's backend. A new experimental backend that compiles Haskell code to WebAssembly. There's another experimental backend that was also recently shipped in newer versions of GHC that outputs to JavaScript as well. So now there's multiple ways to target the browser, as well as like WebAssembly runtimes, like WASM time that run on the server, for example. Which maybe you need for various reasons. I'm not sure who's out there using that yet, but pretty cool that it's there. I think this will be pretty neat for, yeah, like being able to write Haskell code, but run it client side on the web. We can write our web backends in Haskell. We could probably write some pretty cool clients using WebAssembly. And that could open up some neat opportunities and neat ways of doing things on the web. So let's get to it. I've not really used WebAssembly before, and so there's going to be a lot of learning, I think, and figuring things out. Now, I'm somewhat familiar, at least, with WASM in principle. I mean, I've been around since before the web was like really the web as we know it today, and I've seen it evolve over time and try to keep up with the news. So I understand what it's going to do in principle, and today we're going to figure out how to make it actually go. So first things first, we go to the GHC user guide and we find this helpful page about the new GHC WebAssembly backend in chapter 15. The backend is apparently not something that comes with stock GHC at the moment. You have to get a special version of GHC that is compiled to output WebAssembly. So the stock GHC installed with GHC up or stack and similar tools won't generate WASM. Hopefully that'll change in the future. Or at least there will be a way to do it using these tools. But I just checked GHC up and it doesn't look like it installs. It has anything in its list for GHCs that are compiled for WebAssembly. It's just like basic GHCs. Some of them seem to be marked like HLS powered and such, but that's what we've got for now. So it looks like we're going to do this. We're going to have to follow through this guide and figure out how to set this up manually. All right, so it generates WASM modules and some extensions that it needs to make things work. And browsers, which can provide the WASI layer via JavaScript. Okay. That sounds like we might need some kind of, when we're loading our WASM module on the JavaScript side in the browser, we might need some kind of library to provide this polyfill thing, WASI layer. So hopefully we'll have to figure that out once we get some WASM compiled. Okay, the WASM backend is still tech preview, not including the official bin lists yet. So we can get this started to subsections in this page here. Okay, let's do that. Get started as a Nix flake. Ouch. Without Nix. Okay, this repo also provides setup.sh scripts, which installs provided tools to /.ghcwasm. After installing, this will contain all of the installed tools plus this and this. And then flavors. GMP uses the GMP BigNum backend and the WASM native codegen. Good compile time, runtime performance. Native uses the native BigNum backend and the WASM native codegen. Compared to the GMP, the runtime performance may be slightly worse if the workload involves big integer operations. It may be useful if you're compiling proprietary projects and have concerns about statically linking the LGPL licensed GMP library. Okay, I don't think we're going to have that problem, so we might just use GMP. Unreg flavor uses the GMP BigNum backend and the unregistered C codegen. Compared to the default flavor, compile time performance is noticeably worse. Okay. Oh, it sounds like maybe Nix is the way to go, but last time I tried to set up a Nix development environment on this stream, it just was going to take forever. Okay, well, if I have Nix here, let's try it this way. I don't. Okay. Let's try it with Nix first. Okay, so hopefully that'll be fairly quick and it'll give us everything we need just set up in our little Nix shell thing. And we could follow this example, and that would be super cool. So, besides WASM MVP, certain extensions are used. The feature flags generally enabled globally in our WASI SDK build. Passed at GHC configure time, and the WASM NCG may take use of the features. Okay. So some WASM extensions we use, I'm not sure if these are going to be super useful or we need to know too much about them, but 128-bit packed SIMD, that's single instruction, multiple data. So like parallelized stuff, array processing, things like that. Non-trapping float to int conversions, sign extension operators, bulk memory operations, import export mutable globals, multi-value and reference types. Tail call, not in there. But we already support WASM tail calls. It's an opt-in feature for now. I wonder how that's going to affect things. Interesting. Okay. Okay, yeah, and this looks like it tells us which JavaScript library is needed to provide the WASI implementation. The following are known to work: WASI.js and browser WASI shim. Okay. Configuration file. Oh, yeah, why? So the WASI reactor module with user-specified exports. If you want to embed the compiled WASM module into a host language like JavaScript running in a browser, then it's highly likely you want to compile Haskell to a WASI reactor module. This is probably what we will do. I do kind of want to try and get this running in a browser. Ultimately, if I do use WASM, it's probably going to be to run it in the browser. To do like, well, for nefarious science purposes. Of course, because why not? It's always about the science. Okay. Just making sure I got chat pulled up so I can see ya. Good. Okay, so that looks like it installed. Let's go back to how to get this going. Nix. This repo is a Nix Flake. The default output is derivation. I don't know what the heck that means exactly, but cool. Ugh, browsers. Get rid of the... Don't want the copy to clipboard icon there. You're blocking the... Ah, it's so frustrating. No. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna copy that whole thing. Do I have to like Nix shell from a particular directory so I don't like download a bunch of files in random places? Let's try and make a directory. WASM HS. Okay. Okay, experimental Nix feature. Nix dash command is disabled. How do I do this? Extra experimental dash features. Okay. Well, maybe like this. Okay, it wants to create slash Nix. Permission denied. Of course. Don't create files on my root. Why would it need to do this? Okay, well, I guess it's a flake. That's what it said, right? So we should be able to download this repo. Um, no, it's going to do this anyway. Okay. Well, this is a VM, so if it does something weird, I can just blow it up. Okay, next. This is a terrible user experience, BT dubs. Hey, there we go. Hopefully this worked. It won't. Okay, so we can't use Nix. So much for reproducible builds. That's too bad. Okay, so we are going to have to clone this repo and do this setup.sh thing, I guess. Okay. Which we needed a couple of tools installed in order to make that work. CC, curl, JQ, unzip. Oh, we got that JQ, I don't think, no. Which unzip? Okay, we got that. So then we should be able to set up .sh. I think prefix is fine. Flavor, GMP is fine. So let's just run. I'm just going to cat less this setup.sh script. It's the environment variables. If that directory exists and prefix removes it, create a temporary work directory. Try to get some stuff. Curl, download some things. I was going to download Deno. Fun. Node.js and a bunch of other tools probably. Okay. Seems reasonable. Okie dokie. So that's downloading and running. The WASI spec includes certain syscalls that are provided by WASI. Naturally, the current WASI API specifies two different kinds of WASI modules, commands and reactors. A command module is what you get by default when using WAS the 32 WASI GHC to compile and link a Haskell program. It's called a command, as in the conventional command line program, with similar usage and lifecycle. It runs with something like WASM time, optionally passing some arguments and environment variables. It'll run to completion and probably causing some side effects using whatever capabilities are granted. After it runs to completion, the program state is finalized. The WASI reactor module is produced by special link time flags. It's called reactor since it reacts to external calls of its exported functions. Once a reactor module is initialized, the program state is persisted. So if calling an export changes internal state, example sets a global variable, subsequent calls will observe that change. Okay. Well, you already told us what the distinction is, but why should we care? Okay, so it might matter in very distinct cases where you have resources, I suppose. Cool. creating a WASM reactor module from this. So suppose there's a hello.hs that has this fib function. To invoke it from the JavaScript host, first you need to write down a foreign export for it. Okay, and GHC will create a C function that calls into the actual fib Haskell function. And now you need to compile it and link it with special flags. Wow, okay. So some explainers, no HS main, since we only care about manually exported functions and don't have a default main IO. Okay. So if we have a main IO for our program, we don't need this option, but interesting. And this tells it to do the reactor thing. So it creates a WASI reactor instead of a WASI command. And passes the linker flags to export HS init and fib. Okay, so we have to if we don't specify main, we have to manually export which functions are available. I guess HS init must be always exported? And hello.wasm is an output, I guess. Okay. Flags above work in GHC options field of a Cabal executable component. Okay, so we can use Cabal to build these. That's nice. Okay, yeah. Ah, okay, okay. I guess these options are probably needed for C. Compile the C library stuff. But format raw, okay. Neat, neat, neat. Okay, so we're gonna source GHC WASM env to add these tools to our path. Okay, cool. Okay, so we got WASM time and all that stuff. All right, sweet. Cool, and this is like using byte string and text and containers. ASON even and compiling this all, eh? That's pretty neat. Cool. So we should be able to set up a Haskell Cabal. What version are we using? 310. That's pretty good. The init. There's some templates we could probably use. Simple, probably. Just an exe. We'll just do an executable. Sweet. Let's pop up Emacs. Let's just test that everything works using the example, and then we can start setting up a project. Okay, and we should be able to do WASM 32 dash WASI dash GHC hello dot HS dash O hello dot WASM. And apparently run with WASM time dot slash hello WASM. Okay, cool. Zotvix. What's in our hello.wasm file anyway? Yeah, just a bunch of binary data, of course. Okay, cool. So we know that all works. Let's get something building. Blah, blah, blah. I don't need all the help text here. I don't even need a build type. Sure. Let's leave that on. Okay. And now let's look at this Ormalu example. Main is main.hs. Okay, build depends. Just standard stuff. Doesn't look like we need to import anything specific to WASM here, but we just need to set some GHC options. It's a little bit old. GHC 2021. Okay. So we'll use some of the options from here. Well, I kind of want to just do a program with a main and just kind of mess around there, so we'll leave this one out. We'll put ours here, GHC options. It looks like I got to put them. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. I don't think, do we need the... This one doesn't specify the .-o here. Okay, so there should be WL. Yeah, those are good too. Let's put those in. Okay, let's see how far we got with these ones. Okay, so we call HSN with argc set to 0 and argv set to null. So when we don't use things like get ours, get prog name in the program. So before we add first class JavaScript interrupt feature, okay. So this is all marshalling. I guess because it's going through this kind of like intermediate C layer, we have to... So anything we want to do with the browser through WASM is going to have like a bunch of marshalling code. Which is not too bad. Like, Haskell as a language for writing C code is actually pretty good. Um, okay, so that's interesting. That's a little bit wild. Okay, well, we're not going to be linking any C code in, so let's just try... see if Cabal will just build this. Okay. So it doesn't know what this is. Okay. It's using GHC 9.4.2, not our WASM thing. How do they configure it to use? Oh, there's a special WASM 32 Cabal that was installed, maybe? Ah, okay. Okay, so that might be the one. So maybe the base that's the Cabal that we are trying to use doesn't work. And how's it organized there? Let's see all. Oh, okay, let's do it that way. Oh, 4. Sure, okay. Probably doesn't matter that much. Resin again. Okay. So they give us a special version of Cabal to use as well. Okay. Okay, cool. So how do we figure out where the output WASM file is? Is it just a... I guess we got to figure out... They provide us like some normal Cabal things. What's the normal Cabal command for that? Maybe they support it. List bin. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And our target is WASM-HS. Sweet. That's our main function. It just prints hello Haskell. And supposedly we should be able to load this in a browser, I guess, and run it. Again, I've never used WebAssembly before, so this is all new to me, so I'm just figuring things out here. So I guess we need a page, and our init script needs to instantiate using fetch and do something with the results. But it seems also, I think it said we need a library as well, so we need to like figure out how to get that going too. Okay, WASI-JS, how do we get that going? Okay, we can make it easy to plug in different file system. This looks like it's using the old way of loading it according to the MDN web docs. It's browsing WASM. Okay, use this fetch. That's a good sign there. Okie doke. I do have NPM. Weird. Okie dokie. That saves it globally as I recall, so whatever. Do it. Oh, maybe it just saves it in my... Okay, cool. Saves it in a file here. Okie dokie. So... Let's see if I can... create an index.html file, say. And we're going to have... and a head, and a body. No, all right. Okay. Now JavaScript. I forget how to do this. How do I add a JavaScript into a page? So I want to add a script tag, basically. That just loads at the start of my page. Yeah, oh yeah. Sounds good enough to me. No, it doesn't want to finish the script tag. Okay, so in here, we're going to put our WASM stuff. Where was it? WASM. Oh, not WASM. Bjorn 3, this one. Just copy this and hack it as we need it. Okay, we don't need args. That could be empty. I don't need any environment variables set. Okay, that'll be standard in, standard out, standard error, I guess. I don't think I need this. And make that. And let's just make it like this. So it's just beside our files. We'll just Bash, 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 bash. There we go. Okay, and now let's see, instantiate the WASM preview one. Sounds good. Okay. So I do that. What do we get? Probably nothing, but I just want to, maybe it's printing something to the console. So syntax error, import declarations may only appear at top level of a module. I guess that's probably a Node.js thing. Right, so we need to include the actual JS file here, I think, is probably what's going on. Good old script source. I think we gotta put that one in the head. Node modules. Browser wazi shim. And dist. Make that wazi.js. And hopefully all this stuff is kind of like already here. I think that's how browsers work. There's no more import declarations. What are you going on about? Oh, it's in wazi.js too. Okay. Is there like a way to use this from the browser? Like, what's going on? Chad, if you know how to do this stuff. I'm not a front-end developer. I don't know. Looks like somebody in the Haskell community might have already done something. Hey, Sengoku 2. I joined late, but I thought browsers could do import now. I thought so, maybe too. The script tag has a type attribute that can be set to module. Ah, okay. Right. Okay, maybe that's the issue. Okay, now I gotta run a whole web server to do it because this wants to import a bunch of things. Okay, okay, how do I run a quick local server with Node.js again? I forget. I haven't done this in years. Yeah, Python 3. I used to use that one a lot too back in the day when I did a lot of Python development. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hopefully port forwarding works over WSL2 just fine. That seems fine. No, not downloads. Okay, so I gotta move all those modules over. Hey, Damien Frall, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. We're just figuring all of this stuff out, and I'm just like reloading browser front-end development into my brain because I haven't touched it in a very long time. But we have a WASM module compiling from Haskell, so hopefully we're getting there. Okay, so yeah, the issue is just like my pathing here. I'm gonna just pop over star.js here. Okay. Okay, we didn't get any warnings about import stuff, which is fine. That's good. So supposedly our Haskell program did something in the browser? Maybe? Okay, so it looks like it found our shim files and stuff. So Damien Peral, with this GHC WASM being an alternative to PureScript, it could be. It could be. There is an experimental backend as well for GHC to compile to JavaScript, which is what I think PureScript does already. PureScript might be able to compile to WASM as well. The reason why you might want to use WASM, though, is because you want to use like certain C libraries to link in to your Haskell program. Just to JS, yeah, maybe. The other reason why you might want to use WASM is for performance reasons. If you're trying to do, like, you really want to control memory layout and access and do those sorts of computations. And if you're just using Haskell, for example, and you have like kind of a library of Haskell code that's really useful that you want to use on the client side, you can use it from there. So so far I'm learning stuff about how this could work. As far as I know, it should be possible to take this once we get like kind of like basic stuff going to write some code that can call into some of the browser APIs and get like DOM nodes and things like that from Haskell, and then we can compile our code and run it our program directly in the browser. I don't know a huge amount about how WASM has developed and what its current state is, so I can't really answer that accurately. My guess would be that it's outside of the normal browser event loop, and it may run like in its own sandbox. Because we're running a main function in our Haskell code that we're compiling here. We're just running this, and I'm guessing puts_ln isn't implemented in terms of console.log, which is probably why we're not seeing any output here to the console. So we might have to like do some work here to get a console output. But as far as I know, it's a bytecode VM, and parallel, to answer the parallel question, maybe? It's possible, depends what they've enabled in it. I know that tail recursion seems to be a thing that is not implemented in the base WASM spec without some extensions. So how would Haskell's green threads play with in a WASM environment? I'm not sure. WASM. So you probably have to implement some kind of shim. Yeah, so it looks like as long as the WebAssembly shim provides the system calls to create threads, then it looks like we can get that. So I'm assuming that the GHC RTS that has been ported over to run inside of this WASM stuff supports Haskell's green threads, and we'll be able to use those directly. So if we wanted to do game dev, but instead of targeting native, we wanted to target the web, this could be a way to do it with Haskell. Including like more kind of browser-based UIs and that are a little bit more rich and complex for visualizations and that kind of stuff. Yeah, could be. So just figuring this all out. So how are we going to get console log working? So we know like the WASM time stuff is fine. It works okay. But it's meant to like run it as a command line kind of program here. Okay, so how do we call JavaScript stuff from Haskell? That's what I really want to know. libffi wasm. What's this? This might be what we want. Yeah, we know we can export Haskell functions to JavaScript. Okay. So it looks like a lot of this stuff is implemented through C API. That's fine, but how do I... Hmm. Will we have to write our own FFI wrapper, maybe, to do this? Oh, they have a blog post about it. An old one, but okay. Hopefully it still works. So this is what Asterius lets you do. Foreign import JavaScript. Okay. Okay. Are we sure the entry point of the WASM code is called at all? Maybe the entry point gets defined when the module gets loaded, but not actually executed. Okay. So this is our JavaScript code. It's calling this library is wazi.start with our instantiated whatever. So I guess, I see what you mean. Yeah, I'd expect to see fetch, I guess, in the network console if this was actually executing. That might be why, because I was kind of expecting actually put streamlink to be implemented through the shim as console, like a console log. Okay, so if we load the page as it is right now, is this... Okay, actually, module source URI is not allowed in this document. CORS request. Okay. Yeah, we're getting an exception here. Oh, I'm using the wrong page, that's why. This one. There we go. There's the 404th and fave icon. Okay, but it's not... Doesn't look like it's the fetch call is getting executed. Okay, good point. Thank you for pointing that out, Sandcock. And how do I make sure that this script is run on window load, document load? I think that's a jQuery thing. See body onload script. The last option is the better way to go, apparently. Okay. Let's try it like this. All right, let's try this and see if this works. Let's go. I do think it did. It's using fetch, so we probably have to... Yeah. No, we're not even getting here. Maybe we got to put the type there. Maybe we need that. Maybe that's all it's needed. Nope. Let's add our little doc type header. Just because. Okay, that's a good point. Maybe it could be... Yeah. Now we got unload, start is not defined. In which case, maybe the window.onload method works. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Cool, cool. Okay, we're getting close. I think if we add the braces or not, it's probably going to be the same thing. Yeah, await, that makes sense. If we're using fetch and awaiting things. Okay, start is not defined as an error coming back, so we do need this off. No. Yeah. And we need to await it, right? There we go. Okay, cool. Good. Thanks for all the help. That's awesome. So we're getting to open file is not defined, which means we're missing some imports from our shim. That probably comes from one of these libraries. fd.js, fs.core, one of those. fd.js, fs core, fs.fd. strace maybe, just in case. Okay. No, it's not implemented in there. I'm gonna do a start.js here. Okay, it's an fs underscore fd.js. Okay, I will run the start function to get the result assigned to window.onload. Okay, Damien Farrell, I'll take a look at that too. Thanks so much, chat. We're doing great here. Okay. No parens, gotcha. Okay, so it's not getting that class that's in this fs_fd.js file. Right. So this class open file in there. We want it to load this file into our scope before we run window.onload here. These modules. There was like a defer keyword or something, right? What does that do? Okay. So it's getting fs core. It is loading. It is getting fs_fd. It is getting that file. Interesting. Hmm. Is file defined? Okay, so we need to have some kind of import thing, right? Where's our shim? Bop, bop. Where did it go? WASM. That was it. Like this. I don't know if that makes any sense. Yeah, and then we get back to this import. I don't think it's import declarations. How do I use this module stuff? You know, I've done module stuff with JavaScript before. God, I have like tons of repos on them, but I just... Bleh. I just completely forget. So I've been doing too much Haskell. Okay. Declare script type and type module. Use the import keyword. It tells us not to. Okay. So we have to put type equals modules on our script tag in order to use it? Is that what it's trying to say? Like this. And this has to be at the top level, so not inside this function definition here. I mean, it might still be wrong, but at least it's closer, right? Dot slash, okay. Okay, now we get an ambiguous indirect export file. Okay, that's probably because that comes from the fs underscore fd module or something. So very different experience. Okay. I didn't use the pre-open directory thing from this example, so that's good. We'll get rid of that. Get rid of these from here. I just need WASM, I guess. Okay. Doesn't Doesn't come from WASI, comes from maybe WASI defs. Hey, Damien Frowell. Figuring things out here. Figuring things out. So, this indirect export WASI thing isn't working for us here. I also been this issue. Apparently, I forgot to add a comma at the end of the export. Programming. I don't want to have to set up a whole bunch of front-end tooling and stuff to compile things. Just, come on, let me run the script. Provide a pre-compiled version for the front end. Dang it. Okay, where does WASI come from? Let's call class WASI. It is in WASI.js. Let WASI equal class WASI. Export WASI as default. Okay. So I think that means we should just be able to... That clearly doesn't work, but... We can do like import star from? Nope. Oh my goodness. fscore.js. d.js. No, it's got to be an fs_fd. This module system is actually really... this is terrible. People say Haskell has bad tools. Sheesh. What even is this? Used to be you could just, people would just provide a script and be like, import the, and you just add the script to the page and it would just work. But now I gotta like, all these tools. Ugh. Okay. People probably say about Haskell too when they first start working with it too. So, typical frustrations of programming and working with stuff like this. Right? How do they, like, why? Why use build systems? They're awful. Learn from us. Don't do build systems. The other thing is, like, I don't even know how to make a build of this library for the front end. Like, I have no idea. And apparently we can't run our WebAssembly, or, like our WASM module that we compiled from Haskell until we get this going. Ugh. What is, I gotta install TypeScript, compile, and this, not the other, nah. Do they have like a releases page? Maybe we should use that. Okay, I'm gonna try this. Maybe the way I'm doing this is just like the painful dumb way and I should have done this from the start. Okay. Let's get rid of all those JS files. Copy link. XVFZ. Oh no. It's just a bunch of TypeScript files. That's not useful either. God, this is crap. This sucks. I don't want to have to do all of this to use this shim library. Is there another WASI shim we can use that is just a JavaScript file? No, I'm not interested in this library any longer. Damn it. the pre-compiled browser WASM. Oh, frig. I'm gonna have to set all of this garbage up. I don't want to do that. Well, it works in WASM time. That's all I've got so far, folks. We can compile programs to WASM time and run them locally, but running stuff in the browser requires all this stuff that browser developers have set up for themselves and turned into my own personal hell now. Okay, so what do I do? What do we do? Stream. What do we do? How do I do this so that I can get a web page and load my WASM file? Maybe we just use vanilla JavaScript and forget this shim and just see what happens. Maybe I'm super close and I just don't know it, but this is not working. Yeah, we checked the GitHub release there, Damien, and it's literally a tarball of their repo. I don't know why they did it that way. It's like the raw TypeScript files. It's not good. I know. I was very disappointed. This is my disappointed face. Like, it's great that you have build tools and all this stuff, but as a user of it, I just want to use this shim and like not build the code from scratch. And I tried using like the raw files from NPM, but it's just the way it's all set up and working, it's not working. Which is a terrible disappointment. Java people have a repository called Jitpack that does builds for random GitHub repos. Yeah. I wonder if like, yeah, that would be nice. I agree. But I wonder if Nix Packages has something like that. We couldn't get this project to work with Nix, but maybe that's a possibility. Although, to be honest, I don't even know how Nix works, and I'm probably a little bit more, I mean, even lost there. WASI browser gem. Nah. Why am I not using NixOS? 'Cause I don't want to. Why should I use NixOS? That's the question. It's like, well, because then it make you, I don't know, like installing packages. Like I can do that already. Yeah, I bet. Like I use Nix at work, but I don't like use Nix. I'm not developing in Nix at work. I just use it because I have to. Yeah, and like a lot of people really like that. I'm kind of like interested in that, but at the same time, like the Nix language, like I hate looking at it. And I don't want to learn another programming language just to install stuff. I can see why it's useful though, and one day I will go through the pain and do it, I swear. Right. Yeah, like you need NixOS in order to like have a reason to buy more hard drives, I guess. Like understand I'm being cheeky a little bit because like I understand why you want something like NixOS. I totally get it. But just for personal computing, like uh, I've never needed it for a personal computer, but for like a build server, yeah, sure, 100%. Um, okay, well, that's such a huge letdown that we can't get this shim to work without all this other stuff. Ah, damn. Okay. How do I build an NPM package for the web? Okay, maybe we're really closer than I think, and I just need to find the right incantation. I just needed to vent for a little bit. Okay, let's try some of this stuff. Maybe we're just importing the wrong things. Let's check in node modules. Right, we have this Bjorn thing. Browser shim dist. Now this is where I'm getting all the JS files, so this is where I assumed we would just be able to import it from. So now let me put some quotes around that. A bad boy. Bam. Bam. Type module. Slash script. Yeah, oh, let's put it at wasm.js. Seems like that should be the top level one. Okay, let's try importing it like that. Sort of. Sort of. Yeah, we need something like this. I mean, I did have that. Oh, syntax error. It doesn't work at all. This shim library for how we're trying to use it for some reason, even though it's supposed to be a browser shim, it works in the browser, but it doesn't work in the browser. Okay. Okay, so that's not the way. Gonna close a bunch of stuff here. Let's try just loading and running WebAssembly code. Screw the shim. Okay, let's actually try to load our WASM file. Which of course is not named that. It's named wasmhs.asm, WASM, I believe. Oh, import objects not defined. What the heck is import object? What the heck is that? Why have an example if it doesn't actually work? What's the point? Okay. Here, it must be this. I really feel like, yeah, if you're gonna have like a code example in your page on like how to use this code, it should be copy and pasteable right in there and just run. Hey, Damien. Yeah, so I work for a company called Mercury. This company here, we make this. And this is, our backend's all Haskell. And we do a lot of our dev environments and DevOps with Nix. Arian, I might. I don't know. We have a pretty big development team now, and I haven't met everyone. I don't know, yet. I'm trying. But we keep hiring new people, so it's like, all right, come on. Okay, so presumably this is like some object. This is what import object is supposed to be. Okay, now our page loads at least. Doesn't console log anything. But it gets our WASM, it does fetch our WASM HS WASM file. Yeah, I do know Mitchell. Well, that's cool. Small world. Oh. Did he leave where you're working now in order to join us, maybe? Okay, so it's loading our WebAssembly object file now. We haven't exported anything. I don't think. Well, we might have exported something. It's not running our console log here, though. Oh, okay. Developer tools. We can look at our WASM in the debugger. WASM HS though, WASM. Okay. Oh, look at that. Cool. So as export underscore initialize is the function in it, I guess. Stack pointer. Okay. Cool, cool. Well, that's kind of neat. I think that's kind of cool. You get your debugger just can automatically decode this to a text representation of the stack of the VM instructions. It's cool. So export initialize memory. Okay. So does that mean with results we can instance dot exports dot underscore initialize. We're getting to here, and we get the results console.log. No, we're not even starting. Yeah, I wish I knew more about the front end stuff to get this working. Oh, psh. It has been working this whole time. I just don't know how to use this. Okay, cool. So at least our console logs are working. This isn't. Okay, so let's go back to our Haskell code then and see if we can't exchange this into something else. Like, let's export a function that we can call in JavaScript. Almost the exact same thing as main, actually. We probably just need to... I just don't want to do any marshalling, but we do have to do the foreign function interface stuff to expose this, I believe. To turn that on, we need foreign function interface. And change our GHC options. Sorry, I was just reading this little bit here about custom imports and providing your own fill as like a C library. Interesting. So we need a foreign, this kind of annotation here. And we've got to give it the correct type, which is IO. And maybe we do need these flags here too. Okay, so let's add those to our Cabal file. See what that does. Yeah. And WASM 32. Cabal. WASM 32, sorry. Build. Right, so we need to change this to, what was the old mode? Mode is not reactor. Oh, this is the one we need. Okay. Arrow. OHS main. Okay. Try this. Fair enough, Cabal. Fair enough. Let's see. Because we're building as an executable, Cabal wants us to have a main module with a main IO action in it. Maybe we just need to put one in. Sorry, we're not exporting fib, we're exporting run. Okay. WASM 32, WASI Cabal, list bins, WASM HS. Yeah. So we compiled that a little bit differently. It compiled and worked. Linked and everything. I'm going to reload this. Oh, we need to start this web server again. Loads WASM. Ah, okay. So now it's asking for this this thing, the shim. Yeah, so we need this shim in order to even run the output, to even run our WASI. Or WASM, really? It's not even getting to that part. Oof. Rust has one. Law 0. Maybe this one works? Maybe? Let's go code. For Go developers. Maybe we need to try this one? TypeScript, 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 TypeScript. No releases in JScript. Okay. Well, that's disappointing, but there you go. It kind of sort of works, but you have to figure out how to get the shims to compile and work. Nah, it looks like they just have like some kind of runner script for something. Under bin run.js. Some node script. Maybe. Hard to say. Hard to say. Core builds. No, I'd have to set up all this webpack config TypeScript, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's nice to meet you, Damie Pro. Thanks for stopping by. I don't know what we're going to be working on next week, but we'll see. I do maintain a number of Haskell libraries, and I'm also taking ideas for projects. So if you have any, check out our Discord server. We have a channel in this Discord server that you can find on the link above. To keep in touch between streams and all that sort of stuff. Take care. Hmm. Ah. Ah. I wonder if this works. No sense, no hurt to try. Let's give it a shot. I'm just gonna copy and paste some code off the internet. There we go. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's just put it in our script. And this is WASM HS. It needs to be an object. Maybe not. But maybe. I don't know what this is, but... No, not quite. um, oh, is this the old page? No. So we can get this to object field. If we get the right object, module imports. Let's undo all this stuff that I did here. So what I was trying to do is find the object that's missing this field and just give it. The name is WASM Snapshot Preview 1. Try that. We're getting further. Getting further. It's close. One, we're running it. We get this server error. I don't know why. It might have something to do with the thing that they said and the thing. And this thing that we're ripping this code out of. Let's just run that. Oh, base HTTP server is not part of Python 3. Maybe that was just a fluke. Yeah, okay, the traceback was maybe just a fluke. So clock time get is not a function but we need it. Can we hack together this shim to have a clock time get function that just does nothing because our program doesn't actually use that? Maybe save this one as well. I'm getting somewhere. Oh, wait. Is not a function. You bet it is. Get is not a function. I'm guessing the spec has been updated since that blog post was written. What was that? File stat set size? Set size? Yeah. Don't need an equal sign there. There we go. No. Yep. Line 5. I missed that. Oh, sorry. Do you read is not a function? Well, what are we learning here? We're learning the basic API that we need to provide to GHC when we load a compiled module, a WASM module, I guess. So, yeah. What our shim needs to be. Probably a lot of them, it looks like. And I'm running low on time for the stream this week. Yeah. I'm assuming at some point we're gonna implement all of these. And we will eventually... Okay. That's our shim. No, instance exports underscore start is not a function. Yeah. That's because we changed... That might be because we changed the way we compile this module. So let's go back to the way we were. Model reactor. And get rid of that. Let's build. Copy that over, run our server again. Okay, now we're still getting this one. Okay, yeah. So our WASM doesn't export start. Doesn't always work. What does it export when it does this mode? What is it? It exports in it. And one other thing. Okay, the WASM spec does include a start function. However, due to technical reasons, what a start function can do is rather limited. Okay. Command module must export a start function. Okay. Reactor may export an initialize function if it exists. Okay, so initialize instead. Okay. Well, you get any errors or anything? Okay, well, interesting. So yeah, we're not getting errors there. It's not plugging anything to the console. I'll fetch the name. Okay. Instantiate module with module imports. Okay. Initialize. What does initialize to get passed again? You can call the exports freely, reusing instance state. If you want to finalize, you're in charge of exporting and calling WASM call destructors yourself. Initialize must be called exactly once before any other exports are called. See its definition here. Really calls the constructors. So after initialize, you can call the exports freely using the instance state. Okay. Let's get rid of that. Build. Objects have changed. Okay. Copy them over. Server. Reload. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so it does have initialize. Okay. Well, that's progress. That's something. It's loaded with no errors. Loaded our WASM file. Everything looks like it's good there. We're not getting any console output. I'm not sure if we're ready to expect that yet. I'm not getting any errors, but I'm not getting my console log here either. Oh wait, I might be. I might be. Oh no, I am putting after initialize. Okay, yeah, we are getting there. And there. Okay. So, what are we doing here? Let's poke around in our shim, our fake shim, our kind of hacky, stole off the internet randomly shim. What is Putzterlang doing? The func initialize, block label 0, code 0, offset this. I'm not sure it's actually doing anything. It looks like a branch if call to label 0. So if it was calling one of these, this is the implementation of fdwrite, which I'd assume we're probably calling into. And it looks like it's supposed, we should be able to like console log if we get into this function here. If it's actually getting called by our code at some point, right? Hmm. Yeah, well, this is going to take a while to mess around and figure out. Yeah. So, I guess all we can say is that WASM compilation works. It's not super great to use yet. Unless you're, I guess, unless I can get that, some kind of front-end project set up that compiles that shim library for us somehow and spits out a web page or something. So I guess we'll have to figure that out in order to get this to actually run some Haskell code on the front end. But I guess as whatever that shim is and however that works, that's the only thing that's preventing this from going. So we should be able to get more stuff worky. As long as that all works somehow. I was kind of hoping that we would be able to get like canvas and DOM elements and things, but it looks like we're going to need a little bit of work to get there. So, yeah. All right. That's it for now. I got to end the stream. So, if this is your first time tuning in, thank you for watching and tuning in. And I do these streams about once a week on Tuesday evenings, about 10 after 8 in the evening in the Eastern time zone. So that's my schedule if you want to tune in there. But you can also follow here on the Twitches, or if you're in a different time zone because you're one of my European followers, you follow my YouTube channel. You know what to do there as well. I'm also on the socials, on the Fediverse. I'm on types.pl. I'm Agent Ultra. It's not the URL for it apparently, but you can find me there on types.pl. I'm at Agent Ultra there, and I'm also on GitHub at Agent Ultra and sorts of things like that. So find me there, of course, on the Discord. You can go there, get a link to our channel, join our Discord server, and chat about your projects or things you've seen on stream and you want to ask questions. And give me your ideas for the next kind of major project you'd like to see on this channel. I have a couple of things I'm thinking of maybe working on. We still have the adventure game engine to finish up, and I kind of want to do like a mud style multi-user game. I was hoping maybe we could do something with this WASM stuff on the front end, so we could do like maybe a graphical client in the browser and have a Haskell server on the back end and be able to share our types and make everything run over WebSockets and stuff from pure Haskell code. That would be super dope, but could be a big project. Very experimental. So, yeah. Let me know what you think. And anything else? I don't think there's anything else to say. So, have a great night, great evening, great daytime, wherever you are. May your monads always be free, and may your types always check. And hope to see you next week. Take care.